8. Let's talk about the Pesticide Company. What is the purpose of the Pesticide Company? A. Inspection requirements. The lender requires that the subject property undergo a pest inspection conducted by a licensed pesticide company. This ensures that the property is free of pests, infestations, and other unwanted critters. If an infestation is discovered, the lender will mandate that treatment be completed before the close of escrow, COE. B. Responsibility for costs. The cost of the pest inspection is typically paid by the buyers of the subject property. If treatment is required, the responsibility for payment, whether borne by the sellers, buyers, or shared, will depend on the terms outlined in the real estate purchase contract, R.E.P.C., any counteroffers, or addenda. These agreements must clearly specify who will cover the cost of inspection and treatment. C. Certification and compliance. Upon completion of the pest treatment, a certificate of compliance must be issued by the pest control company. This certificate confirms that the treatment has been completed as required and must be submitted to the lender. The lender will then forward the certificate to the title and escrow company as proof of compliance. Without this certification, escrow cannot close. 1. Pest control licensing standards. Federal regulations now require pest control companies to comply with updated Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) standards, ensuring that inspections and treatments are performed using safe and approved methods. Two. Treatment disclosure. All pest treatments must now include a detailed disclosure of the chemicals or methods used, provided to both the buyers and sellers. 3. Electronic submission. Lenders may require the certification to be submitted electronically for faster processing. 4. Escrow extensions. If treatment is delayed due to unforeseen circumstances, federal guidelines permit escrow extensions without penalty, provided documentation is submitted promptly. To the next section. 9. Let's talk about the civil engineer company. What is the function of a civil engineering company? A general purpose. Civil engineering services are not always required in real estate transactions but may be necessary under certain circumstances, depending on the nature of the property and the lender's requirements. B. Certification for new projects. If the property is part of a new development or project, the lender may require a civil engineering company to certify that the project and/or property complies with applicable federal, state, and local building standards. C. Prefabricated homes. For new prefabricated homes, federal regulations mandate that the property must be placed on a permanent foundation. A civil engineering company must certify that the foundation complies with all relevant federal, state, and local statutes. This certification is a prerequisite for lender approval. D. Structural, foundation defects. If the property being purchased, whether a resale single-family residence or prefabricated home, has structural or foundation defects, the lender will require the property to be repaired and certified by a licensed civil engineering company. E. Responsibility for costs. The costs for civil engineering services and/or necessary repairs can be covered by the sellers, buyers, or both, depending on the terms outlined in the real estate purchase contract, R.E.P.C., counteroffers, or addenda. The allocation of costs must be explicitly agreed upon in writing. If the property has structural, foundation defects, am I obligated to buy it? The answer is no, provided you are still within the inspection period. 1. Inspection period. The home inspector typically identifies visible structural or foundation issues and will notify you promptly, often via phone, and follow up with a detailed report by email or fax. Yes, it's still in use. 1.1 If significant defects are identified, the home inspector may recommend a civil engineer to assess the property further. 2. Option to walk away. 2.1 During the inspection period, you have the right to terminate the contract if structural, foundation issues are a concern. 3. If you choose to proceed. 3.1 Be aware that civil engineering services can be costly, encompassing the initial assessment, ongoing monitoring during repairs, and final certification. Civil engineers may be involved throughout the repair process to ensure compliance. Once repairs are complete, the civil engineer will issue a certification of compliance and satisfaction. The specific name of this certification may vary by state. Who pays for civil engineering services and repairs? Refer to paragraph E above for details on cost allocation, which depends on the terms negotiated in the transaction documents. 1. Foundation standards. 1.1 New federal guidelines require all prefabricated homes to meet stricter foundation specifications. Civil engineers must certify compliance before closing. 2. Inspection transparency. 2.1 Civil engineering reports must now include clear, detailed documentation of all identified issues, recommended repairs, and compliance with federal, state, and local codes. 3. Digital certification. 3.1 Certifications and compliance reports must be submitted electronically to streamline lender and escrow processes. 4. Extended timelines for repairs. 4.1 Federal regulations now allow buyers additional time to complete required repairs, provided documentation is submitted to the lender showing progress and compliance. To the next section. 10. Let's talk about the mold company. Do I really need to hire a mold remediation company? A purpose of a mold remediation company. A mold remediation company specializes in identifying, treating, and eliminating harmful mold within your home to ensure a safe and healthy living environment. B. Causes and growth of mold. Mold can grow on wood, paper, carpets, and even food when excess moisture or water accumulates indoors. Common causes include poor ventilation, water leaks, and unaddressed humidity issues. Without regular inspections or prompt action, humidity levels can rise, exacerbating mold growth. Semi-annual inspections are strongly recommended to prevent such issues. C. Managing mold growth. While it is impossible to completely eliminate all mold and spores in a home, their growth can be controlled by addressing and eliminating sources of moisture. This includes maintaining proper ventilation, repairing leaks promptly, and monitoring humidity levels. D. Responsibility for mold remediation costs. The costs for mold remediation services, including inspection, treatment, and certification, can be paid by the sellers, buyers, or both, depending on the terms outlined in the real estate purchase contract, R.E.P.C., counteroffers, or addenda. These agreements must explicitly specify who is responsible for covering these expenses. 1. Mandatory disclosure. 1.1 Sellers are now federally required to disclose known mold issues during the sale of a property. Failure to do so can result in penalties. 2. Certification standards. 2.1 Mold remediation companies must comply with updated Environmental Protection Agency (EPA) standards. This includes using safe and environmentally friendly products for treatment. 2.2 Certification of remediation must include detailed reports specifying the mold levels before and after treatment, as well as the measures taken to prevent future growth. 3. Inspection requirements. 3.1 Lenders may require a mold inspection and certification before approving loans for properties located in high humidity regions or areas prone to flooding. 4. Electronic documentation. 4.1 Mold treatment certifications and reports must now be submitted electronically to streamline the loan and escrow process. 5. Extended inspection periods. 5.1 Buyers are entitled to request extended inspection periods to address mold concerns if issues are discovered during the initial home inspection. And remember, I highly encourage you to purchase the paperback or hardcover edition of MYDAR, available on Amazon. It serves as a reliable and comprehensive reference guide to support you throughout this first-time home buyer course and beyond. Congratulations! You've successfully completed the sections on pesticides, civil engineers, and mold companies. Now, please proceed to the next video. Extras and consumers beware. Feel free to revisit this or any previous sections at any time for further clarification or review.